Hi, Jan Korakis here for Gigom TV with Seung Bak, the co-CEO and co-founder of DramaFever.com. Seung, what is DramaFever? What does this site offer us? Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, thank you. Thanks for having me. So DramaFever is a online video service focused on the best of TV shows from around the world. So things like Korean dramas, Japanese dramas, Chinese movies, all subtitled with English and in the future additional languages so that you could enjoy it whether through your computer or through different device or mobile platforms that you have.
And you told me before when we talked that you founded it because you looked at getting some of the content from out of Asia and you noticed that most of it was only available on like kind of fan sub sites where people were doing uploads. How does this evolve? How big of an impact did this scene have, and what's your relationship to it now?
Sure. So growing up, I grew up watching a ton of foreign content, whether it's Hong Kong action movies or dramas from all around the Asian world, right? And it was always through things like VHS tapes or DVDs, and you always kind of ask yourself, there has to be a better way to kind of consume this content, right? And around 4 years ago, I got really excited because it became very obvious that there's millions of other people just like me, because there was this sort of phenomena of kind of fans on their own, kind of creating this ecosystem where somebody in one country will upload a video, a bunch of people in other countries will actually translate and create subtitles so that people could understand it. Some other folks in other countries will, write blogs and build a community to kind of really make that content really exciting. So there's this beautiful sort of growing community, of millions of people who obviously love content, who obviously are doing this grassroots activity because the professional sort of suppliers were not providing a platform for them to kind of get their content. So to us, that sort of was screaming demand. There was a screaming demand that the world needs a very clean, professionally produced platform where anyone can go and enjoy what the best movies and TV shows that the rest of the world has to offer, and in the language that you understand.
Now, the traditional reflex for media companies would be, those guys are pirates, we have to crack down on them, we have to make sure that those sites shut down. What is your approach, and what do you think about?
Sure. So there's a lot of misunderstanding in the media world, right? I think it's very easy for kind of folks at media companies to demonize a lot of the fan activity, because the reason why people create videos and upload clips on sites like YouTube or other platforms was largely because they're true fans and they want to share their joy and love for certain movies or actors and actresses, right? And true piracy is basically something where someone is obviously trying to rip you off. I'll look at, if you're making duplicate copies of DVDs or making, full files of movies in such a way that you're trying to sell it or make money off of that's piracy. The bulk of what's happening online, the bulk of what's happening certainly for the content, the international content we focus on, is more the sort of the passionate fan kind of activity, right? So, I think through working with us, a lot of our content partners came to appreciate that, there are big differences in some of the free content that's available, and it's very important to kind of grow the sort of the overall market base and fan base, that you do not demonize and you kind of see the true passion that fans are displaying as sort of indirect marketing for the content.
So DramaFever is going to expand to offer content from other countries, from other regions. What are you looking at there?
Sure. So today we built our community largely based on Korean dramas for the distribution in basically US and Canada. With the success that we've demonstrated with our current product, we're seeing opportunities to take our current service into many other countries around the world, but more importantly, do what we've done with East Asian dramas for our partners down in Latin America with things like telenovelas from the Hispanic sort of Spanish-speaking world, right? As well as things like Bollywood film and South Asian TV shows. There's lots of great content around the world, and good content is good content, and I think. To date, a lot of this stuff has just been sort of sitting in the shelf because distribution has primarily through things like broadcast and cable. But now, because the advent of broadband, just the whole ecosystem for online video is emerging in such a way that we could create direct-to-consumer services where we could curate the best content from all around the world in a highly professional, highly sort of engaging experience for the end users.
And who's the audience for this type of content?
Sure. So our site today, even though it's largely East Asian content, is 75% non-Asian. From a demographic perspective, it's about 60% Caucasian, about 20% Asians of all types, and the balance is split between blacks and Hispanics. And this has been one of the more pleasant surprises of us kind of working on DramaFever. I think, but the conclusion that we've drawn from talking to our fans and doing just further research is that good content is good content, and people get exposed to great stuff from all around the world, and people have different hooks. Some of that could be because they might be flipping through channels late at night and they see something they like. Some of them might be because they see an actor or actress and some pictures that they like, and next thing you know, they're fully immersed in a whole new culture. And most often, the world is getting flatter. People are traveling, have friends from other countries. So through sort of this organic kind of everyday relationships that people have with people of different backgrounds, people get exposed to content from other countries. And all of that has been sort of working out for our success to date.